Welcome to another interesting edition of Nigeria Superfans Forum. My name is Oluwafemi Ashaolu. Today it's a full menu in the house. Today we'll be talking about the international friendly matches between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Algeria. But majorly what we'll get across of our time today on the show is the international friendly between the Black Stars of Ghana and Brazil. That is going to be a huge one. So, but first of all, like we do on the show, we'll start from, we'll be looking at Alex Iwobi. The new recognition is, well, I call it new recognition because he's been attracting so much attention to himself right there in the English Premier League. And of course, preparation of the Super Eagles for that game against Algeria in Oran. And Ghana, of course, the video has been on the internet. There was, what do you call it now? Initiation. Thank you, initiation for the new guys who just came into the fray. We saw Inaki Williams, Ransford, Mohamed Salisu, Tariq, Lamptey. I didn't know I could dance more than some of these guys. It was very, very fun to watch. And of course, seeing them in training, I'm sure Otuado by now will have, of course, decided his first 11 against Brazil. So these are many more what we'll be talking about on the show today. Kado Gindari, as always, joined us via video. Kado, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Femi. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I can feel the adrenaline already in the studio.
It's pumping, really.
Ghana, Brazil, and Nigeria, Algeria. I can't wait to see both games.
Honestly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. James.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're prepared for the international fixtures.
Yes, for now the leagues they are on break. So up next now is the international break, and good top quality friendly games, and then other official games will be part of the menu for us. So I can't wait.
Okay, Kayode, let's get started. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are training in Constantine in Algeria, and 24 players are in camp. And let's look at it very briefly. How significant do you think this game will be for the team and of course the coach? Because if you look at it, this will be his first major test since he took charge of the national team in May. But let's look at it. How much of significance do you think this match will be for Nigeria?
Well, for me, it's a friendly game, and I am not sure it is of much significance apart from the fact that it will help the players to get to know each other better, allow the coaches to know the players better, so that it will allow for team spirit to be molded, synergy and everything. Apart from that, I'm not sure there's any other value attached to the game. This is a game of two teams that lost the World Cup ticket at the final order. Nigeria, after drawing away in Ghana, lost the game, drew in Nigeria and lost on the away goals. Algeria were even much more pathetic. They had a very, very wonderful result in Cameroon, only to go and...
They lost it at home.
At home.
Yeah.
At home. So for me, it's a game of two losers, so to speak. Life must go on. We cannot keep beating our heads over the head for... We should get prepared, and that's what the Nigerian team is doing. That's what I also doing. And both countries have a very rich history between them. I remember they defeated us in 2019. We have played a friendly game. After that, 2019, they also won 1-0. I think this is time to stop the dominance of the Algerians. Hopefully, the Nigerians can get the job done in Constantine.
Okay, James, let's talk about the emergence of new Iwobi. He was named in the official Premier League Team of the Week, and of course, Alan Shearer's Team of the Week. Let's look at how crucial do you think to be for the Super Eagles in this game, since of course we'll be missing the presence of Joe Aribo, who pulled out maybe because of fatigue, because remember he played almost 80 games last season for club and country, and of course the news has emerged that he deliberately pulled out. Remember we talked about him last on the show, thinking that he was deliberately left out, but an official of the Super Eagles actually came out to say that he deliberately opted out. But let's look at Iwobi. How much do you think it will be important for Nigeria in this game?
Well, Iwobi has been a player, well, I call him the rebirth of Iwobi. I mean, under Frank Lampard at Everton, he has been the most outstanding player so far this season. He has been churning out 5-star performances I was not that was why I was not surprised when Alan Shearer, the legendary English striker, named him in the official Premier League Team of the Week. I mean, it doesn't come nothing can compare to that, because that's the official Team of the Week. I mean, for you to make that list, it goes to show that you are one of the most outstanding players for that week. I mean, Iwobi has been very fantastic for Everton. And the assist he made last weekend was the Everton's third in their last 4 games. That was the third that it will be.
The third goal.
Yeah, the third assist he has made.
Everton.
You know, so it goes to show that he has really improved.
And for the first win of the season.
Exactly. You know, he played a pivotal role in that win against West Ham. And coming to the Super Eagles, I expect him to carry that form into the Super Eagles. All eyes will be on him now. Now that Aribo is not there, so we're expecting now to bring that performance. Yes, exactly. That 5-star performance. I remember when they played against Sierra Leone in the qualifiers, he scored. You know, so he has been churning out. You know, you see that sign that this guy has improved his game, unlike when he was under Ancelotti and he was playing out of position. But I think Lampard has really found the position that suits him, and the guy has been firing. You see that progression, that confidence, that fire in him. So going into this game against Algeria, I expect to see that it will be the Everton. It will be that the top player, the one that has been banging in top performances. I expect to see him when Super Eagles take on Algeria.
Okay, Kayode, let's talk about the new guys returning to the fray now for all the Super Eagles. Akpokona and of course Iheanacho and the likes of them. What do you think they should use this friendly as in order to convince the coach that they are equally important due to a number of absenteeism that we have in the team? Because the likes of Victor Osimhen, Aribo, Ahmed Musa, they are not around because of injury. But what do you think the advantage the new guys should actually take in this game?
Well, it's very, very simple. They just have to make it impossible, make it difficult for the coach to drop them from subsequent games. How can they do this? By seizing this chance with both arms, getting sure that they get a good game. If they get to play, they post a good performance so that the coach will think twice before dropping them in subsequent games. That is the only way they can be sure, they can guarantee they are still in the team. Anything apart from that, Femi, will just be like they will just add to the number of players who have done the green and white before. This is a very good opportunity. Osimhen is not there, but anybody who gets to play in his position should seize it with both so that when he comes back, we know he's our first choice striker, but when he comes back, you make it difficult for the coach to drop you. This is a new coach for me. This is a team in transition, although we are always transiting anyway, but this is a team in transition. So it's like the chances of everybody making the team is kind of open, if you get what I mean. So you need to do what you need to do in order to get to where you have to be. It is a very good chance for everybody.
All right, thanks guys. This is where we, of course, for now we'll be drawing the curtain on the preview for Super Eagles game against Algeria. Of course, there's still Monday, so we will have time to discuss the Super Eagles game, like a preview before the game, because the game comes up on Tuesday in Oran. But for now, we told you earlier that Ghana versus Brazil, that game will be taking place at Hove Stade Oshoni in France. So that game will be getting our attention because we have an extensive review to talk about likely starting 11 for Otuado, because it's going to be crucial. Before now, I think we have October where there will be the final FIFA window before the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So to some extent, Otuado will want to use this game to actually test a number of players who has come into the fray for him now. So let's quickly go on this break. When we come back, it will be Ghana all the way. Please stay with us. Okay, welcome back. It's still Niger Super Fans Forum. Now, let's get started. James, I'll start with you. Of course, you saw that initiation video. I think it actually tells about how well the players have blended. The new players like Tariq, Lamptey, Inaki Williams, Ransford, then of course Mohamed Salisu. And that game against Brazil, it's beyond crucial. I know a lot of people have said the scoreline. I remember the last time Carl said the scoreline might not really matter, but Ghana have not defeated Brazil at the senior level in any competition.
Yeah.
What do you think Otuado should really do with this game?
Just like what we said the last time we met, it's an opportunity to try out these new guys. Tariq, Lamptey, Inaki, Williams, and the rest. These are guys who are just coming into the team. So you need this kind of game to see what they will bring to the team. Fine, they've decided to play for Ghana, but it's not 100% guaranteed. You have to prove to what they have to do. Use this game now for these players to prove to the coaching crew, to everybody, that we deserve our place in this team. So that's thank God that they're playing a high-profile, friendly game against the 5-time World Cup champion. I mean, how many countries can organize friendly game with Brazil? It doesn't come that easy, you know, for the GFA to even bring this up. Kudos to them. It goes to show that Ghana is a top team when it comes to
and they're really football. Serious.
Exactly, you know, and you know. So for me, this is a game that I expect these guys to use to launch themselves, to show to everybody that they deserve to play for Ghana. They deserve to go to the World Cup. And what better way to show this than when you play against Brazil? You're going to play against the likes of Neymar. You're going to play against the likes of Vinicius Junior. I mean, when you are coming up against these guys, you know that it's going to be fire. So it's a good opportunity to test these guys. And I pray and I hope that they're going to give a good account of themselves. Fine, they might end up losing the game, but to me that's secondary. It's how they comport themselves, how they're able to interpret what the coach, the tactics and everything, because that's very important. You're going to a major tournament, so you need all these players to gel together. So for me, I'm looking forward to this game. Fine, Ghana has never beaten Brazil. In the last 4 meetings, Brazil has won everything. And so I believe if they win, fine, that would be like a bonus. But the most important thing is just go there, comport yourself, play a good game, whatever the result, and just make sure these guys are able to, you know, express themselves, and so that from there the coach can build from it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kayode, the new players have been inducted now. Of course, we saw the initiation video, but let's look at it, Kayode. How much of the psychological boost will it be if Ghana wins this game? Ghana has not beaten Brazil in at the senior level at all. They've not beaten Brazil at the senior level. So how much of the psychological boost? Because in as much as we agree that it is a friendly game, a result is also very crucial, because I see a lot of predictions online, and Ghana, the Black Stars, were not given any chance against Brazil at all. But how much of a psychological boost do you think a possible victory for Ghana would be for the team?
I never thought about this question you're asking me now. In all of my preview of the game, that is a very good angle. For me, I think it's going to be a double-edged sword for me. I don't want them to lose in such a way that it will crush their spirits. Yet I don't want them to win so that they don't have false hopes that they have arrived. And I'm going to draw parallels with the Nigerian basketball team to the last Olympics. We saw when we defeated Argentina and
USA.
We thought the gold medal was just ours to go there and pick. Even though I tried to sound a good note of caution to some other people that, see, when John go mature, everybody will know their position. But then go to the World Cup, I'm not sure we lost all our group games. So as much as I want Brazil, I want Ghana to do very, very well. I do not want them to lose in such a way that it will crush their spirit. Yet, if a win will make them lose their heads and think, we have arrived. After beating Brazil, there's nothing we cannot beat. Then that will be a very, very dangerous victory for them. What I want, like I've always said, and like James brilliantly said, which I agree with, let them just put up a decent performance. The result, I'm very sure I'm speaking for Otoado and the coaching group, the result is not the most important thing. And I will be very, very reluctant. I will be cautious of aligning myself with anybody who is writing Ghana off. This is not the World Cup. This is a preparatory game. They are using these games to prepare for the World Cup. So whatever result they get, this is going to be some of the players will be playing together for the first time ever. So you do not expect them to have that rhythm immediately. Things will be a little bit wobbly, but I am very sure that they will get into their strides and give a good account of themselves. FME, you know what? Why I'm very, very interested in this game. We have always considered Ghana as the Brazil of Africa. So the Brazil of Africa will now be the Brazil of the world.
The real Brazil, right? Is it the real Brazil?
They're going to be the Brazil of the world. So for me, it's a game I am so much looking forward to. And like I said, I pray the boys will
okay, one of the scholars I saw online was said Brazil 3, Ghana 0. And of course, just for the mention, in the comment section, some of our fans said they always dreamed Ghana will win the World Cup. Of course, maybe, I don't know, maybe just kind of mocking Dr. Tony Obin, who said he dreamed that Ghana won the World Cup. So our fans, thank you very much for your comment. Like I always told you, we read every one of them. And of course, we'll take the ones that is meant to make us get better. Please don't forget that notification bell. Please click it so that you can get the video as soon as they drop. Okay, James. Now let's talk about let's talk about the psychological part of what they are doing against the Black Stars. Now, there are things that Neymar is injured and might likely not be 100% fit for that game. But of course, Brazil still, they have enough arsenal to unleash on the Black Stars. But let's look at the new guys. For someone like Tariq Lamptey, I'm sure is a former England under 18 thereabouts. He has never played this kind of game before. Mohamed Salisu Yusuf is done well in the Premier League also. Inaki Williams, maybe you can say he's faced Real Madrid, Barcelona, so it might not be much of being unsettled. Then Ransford. Now let's look at these guys. Do you think they might have this kind of a stage fright? Playing against the best of the best, playing against Marquinhos, playing against the likes of Antony, playing against the likes of Rodri and Antony. Do you think some of these particularly the younger ones, do you think there might be anything like stage fright?
No, I don't think so. Lamptey, the Tariq has been playing in the Premier League he has met most of these top guys. Inaki Williams has seen it all in La Liga.
That was I singled him out.
Yeah,
but talking about someone like Tariq Lamptey, he's still a youngster.
He's still a youngster, but
Ransford is a youngster.
Yeah, Tariq is still a youngster.
Salisu, he's only faced maybe Arsenal, Manchester United,
but those teams that he has faced, they have quality players, world-class players. So you shouldn't face them. I mean, so like I said, all I want is a decent performance from these guys. I mean, I believe they know that they have to prove themselves, and so what better way to prove yourself than putting up a 5-star performance against Brazil, which I believe they will do, because all eyes will be on Ghana. So they've gone past that stage of the initiation, and it's business now. So I mean, I expect them to give 100 and if not 150% now, to show to the coaching crew that they deserve a spot in the final squad going to the World Cup. So let's look forward to a good game. I believe that these guys, after all the noise and everything, the allegiance and whatever, everything has been settled, is business now. And I believe they are going to give a decent performance. And let's hope, just like what Kayode said, let's hope that they don't lose scandal so that it doesn't dampen their spirit, because that one too is very, very important. So I believe they put up a good performance and give a good fight and make Brazil sweat on that day.
Make Brazil sweat. Kayode, now let's talk about the back line. I think now Otuado now has much options as much as it does in other areas in the team. Now the defense, you have Alexander Djiku, you have Mohamed Salisu coming in now, then you have Daniel Amate. I think he will have selection problem, but all the same, he's still a friendly. But let's look at it. Which of these three, or which two of these three do you think he should use as a start in that game? I would suggest that Alexander Djiku, because he plays in the French Ligue 1, and I'm sure he's familiar with the likes of Neymar and the likes. What do you think?
I think every decent coach will start from the familiar. He's much more familiar with the Djiku Amade pairing, and that's what I would expect him to go with initially to start with. The temptation is there to throw all of his players into the game. Who doesn't want to play all the riches he has at this disposal? But he will be cautious. I'm playing in Otuado's head now. He will be cautious. Go with those he's familiar with, those who are also familiar with each other, because it could boomerang if he decides to play players who have not played together before. He can start out with these players, like we said, he's not going to get any extra marks for the game. So I expect him to start with the familiar, Djiku and Amate. From there, whatever it is that they are able to build together as a result of their familiarity, he can now begin to introduce other players and test them out. Brazil. And that Ghana, they are not alone in that. How many countries have a decent result?
But history is meant to be thrown into the dustbin now. So anything can happen.
You know how many years Nigeria were also at the mercy of Brazil before we were able to eventually pull out that 1-1 draw the last time we played them.
Even against Argentina, we are still looking for our first victory.
Exactly. No, if you're talking about maybe not in the competitive game.
Yeah.
In Abuja, the last time they came to Nigeria. But like I said, let's see what happens in the game. I will not be surprised if I see him starting the known duo of Amate and Chico in the game.
Okay, at least both teams, they are coming on the back of the victory in their last respective international friendly. Brazil defeated Japan 1-0, while Ghana defeated Chile 3-1 on penalties in a four-nation invitational tournament. Now, Kayode, I'll put you on the spot. Let's take, let's say, scoreline. Of course, we also tell our fans to tell us what they think that game will end with. Of course, like the game will be taking place in France tomorrow. It's already here. Kayode, what do you think will be the scoreline? If Otoado, now thank God that Pate is back in it, because I saw the training, he led the team. Now, what do you think that scoreline will likely be? But particularly, I expect, before I get the Kayode, let's look at the crucial role that Thomas Partey will play in that game. We saw before the international break against Brentford, we saw what he did. Now, he will have to contend against the likes of Rodri, the likes of Casemiro, Fred in the midfield. Let's look at the crucial role Partey will play in this game before we take the prediction.
I think what Partey will do for me is try to act like a destroyer. Make sure that he breaks up play for Ghana before Brazil will get into their stride. That's the main. If I were the coach, that's what I would ask him to do. Not demand too much from him. Especially he's coming back from injury. Just tell him to break up their play and release the ball, serve as an outlet for all their attacking intent. That's all. If he's able to do that, do the running around within the center circle before Brazil gets into the dangerous place spots, it will be good for him and for Ghana. And one key thing, Femi, when you play Brazil, that you should not forget is they are dead ball specialists. You cannot afford to make any mistakes around your area. Once you do, you are handing them the gun, a smoking gun to shoot at you. I'm hopeful. We're talking about Partey now that he's able to break up their play. Whoever is going to play against, he's not a novice in the game. He will know what exactly to do. But for me, he just needs to keep it simple, break up play, allow the balls to run, and get into the vital areas for them. And talking about predictions for me, like I said, I've said this time and again that this is a friendly. The result will not matter to me. If Ghana win 5-1 or they lose 5-1, it doesn't really matter to me. The most important thing is go there, go and represent us well.
If Ghana wins, we'll take Coke. We'll drink Coke now, right?
Oh, sure, you will.
Okay.
I can assure you.
Okay.
And it will be live on the studio so that our fans will see that you guys.
That we celebrated Ghana. Okay.
Yes, that's a promise. I promise that is going to happen. So for me, I think I will excuse myself from prediction, because for me, the results is not really important to me as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, is there a prophet running away from? Okay. James, what do you think will be the scoreline?
It's going to be tough, feisty, and that is just...
Once you start speaking English like this Ghana...
Okay, let me give it Brazil 2-1.
Brazil 2-1?
Yes.
So another defeat for the Black Stars?
Yeah.
You guys are not...
But at least, just like what you said, the result is secondary. The most important thing is for the Black Stars to put up a good performance so that at the World Cup, we know that, yes, we will have a good representation from Africa.
Okay, our producer, do you also want to take a prediction? Oh, okay. He said he's also taking the neutral side like how they... It's going to be a very tough encounter, we have to assure you. And it's going to be a massive test for Tuado and his side. Since he took over, this is the biggest test step of his career as a Black Star. Yes, sir.
Let me quickly remind our fans that Ghana, like you said, they've just around, I think, March before when teams were preparing for the Olympics, although it wasn't the Olympic team, it was a full national squad in 1996 that played the game. I do not expect a repeat of that game because none of the players on both sides are here today. This is a game that will be played by some pharaohs that do not recognize Joseph. So everybody will be on his own now. I expect a very close game. I expect a very close game, but like I said, I'm not willing to take predictions about what the scoreline is because, like I said, whatever the scoreline is, I just want the Ghanaian players to go out, have fun, play with freedom. Do not be overawed by the stage. Don't look at Neymar's jersey number. Just go out and play for the love of the game. That's what I want.
Okay, of course, that 8-2 seems like Ghana didn't go into that game with a goalkeeper. But in the game against Brazil tomorrow, I will expect the likes of Mohamed Kudus, the likes of Thomas Partey, the likes of Inaki Williams, and of course, who else? My man Alexander Dzeko to do. Those three guys I will actually be looking out for them. Okay, let's move on now. Oh, my own prediction. I think I will expect Ghana to score, but most likely to be Brazil 1, Ghana 0. It's going to be a very tight encounter. But like at least the guys have said, it's going to be a very, very close score. And moreover, it will be an opportunity for Otto to test his side, to actually test the waters really before the World Cup gets started. Now, James, let's talk about Koulibaly. He has said that he feels it is the time for Africa to win the FIFA World Cup. He said it's been long time coming. We've had only Cameroon, Senegal, of course, and Ghana have gone closer in the semi-finals. But he's saying Koulibaly, captain of Senegal, is saying that it seems it is time. He's having that feeling, that feeling that you have, the same feeling that Dr. Tony Obi had that Ghana won the World Cup. He said it is time for an African country to leave the FIFA World Cup.
Well, if I could remember, the legendary Pelé of Brazil, I think he said an African country will win the World Cup before the turn of the century. We are still waiting for that. For Koulibaly, it's easier said than done. Anybody can come out and say whatever the... it's not if I'm playing the fact that an African team cannot win the World Cup. I mean, Ghana almost took Africa to a first ever semi-final appearance, if not for the hand of the devil. Luis Suarez, So on different occasions we've gotten close. Cameroon almost got to the semi-final in 1990, inexperienced. Nigeria got to 1994, almost.
That team looked like it was going to be
inexperienced. Ghana got to their first ever appearance. They made it to the second round. 2010, they got to the quarterfinal. Senegal got to the quarterfinal and their maiden edition appearance. So it shows that Africa have the talent, but the World Cup is beyond. It's not just a tournament where you just go and feel. You just think you can win it. No, you like I said in our previous edition. If you check out most of the teams who have won it in the past, there's always this pattern. There's always this. You see that sign. I always use Germany as an example. When they started building for the World Cup, when they won in 2014, the preparation really started from 2006 when they hosted. They got to the semi-final. They finished third. To 2010, they almost won in 2010, but they met a very good Spanish side. They crashed out in the semi-final, then eventually won it in 2014. So for the African team going to the World Cup, if you check out their previous performances, you see that, okay, maybe they did well this edition, the next edition, they performed woefully, So the World Cup is one tournament that is so unique. It's not a tournament you just go and you think, you just made saying that I will win it. No, you must have that progression, you see, the sign will always be there that this team will eventually win.
But I think Ghana to answer. Ghana are not answer. At least 2010 they got to
2014. Then 2014 they did very well. So there are so many factors that come into play. One, you have to look at how preparation goes. Then you know this thing about Africa and this issue of bonuses, unpaid bonuses, unpaid allowance. You know, these are some of the things that normally comes up and affect African teams. It has happened to Nigeria. I remember that France '98. It was terrible. Even USA '94, we've been hearing revelations that the team was old and blah 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 and things like that. The Ghanaian team that went to the 2014 World Cup, we saw the issue that happened. So the World Cup is you just have to bring your A game. No distraction. If you have all these things in play, all this discussion about bonuses, and you hardly hear all these things when it comes to the top two, the Spanish team, the Brazil. You don't hear things like unpaid allowance, and they go there, they focus. If they don't win it, fine, but you still see the performance. Everything will be there. You see, but Africa, I mean, you know the way you always go about our thing. So I mean, we have the talent, no doubt, but I mean, but if we don't take care of all these side distractions, I mean, we will continue to wait for our first World Cup.
Okay, Kayode. Okay, since we lost connection with Kayode, we'll try to establish the connection back before we leave the studio. Already, the producer is already signaling that we should pack our bags and leave. But James, before we go quickly, let's talk about Andrea. You've been talking about the new guys who just came into the team. He's saying that people have been accusing the players of coming into the Black Stars or agreeing to play for the Black Stars now because of the World Cup. Though he said the real motive we might not know. But ultimately, he's talking about the confidence that the players have in him. And he said he's blessed to have this quality of players trusting him with the leadership of the Black Stars.
Yeah, Andrea has come a long way with the Black Stars. I remember when he broke into the scene 2008 Ghana, when Ghana hosted the AFCON, and he went to the Under-20 World Cup as captain. He led Ghana to win the Under-20 World Cup, the first and only African country to have achieved that great feat. He has been part of the team for over 10 years now. He's very experienced, played at two World Cups, and almost helped Ghana to win the AFCON. And so I think he's somebody that he's someone who they look up to, someone who they can rely on. I remember when he missed the qualifiers against the Super Eagles, you will see that he was part of the team.
He was physically present.
He was there with the team.
Because of suspension,
exactly.
Right?
So, you know, so he showed that, fine, I'm not part of you.
But we are together.
But we are together. You know, he was there, he was motivating the players, he was encouraging them, he was just all through with them.
I saw the disappointment on his face after that game ended nil-nil.
Yeah, because it goes to show that he know that they didn't do very well at the AFCON 2021.
Yeah.
So it was now time for them to, you know,
to pay back
pay back, and fortunately for them, they were able to do it at the expense of the Super Eagles. So he has been a good leader, and just like what we said, the issue of Asamoah Gyan, we don't need that now. I think they are gradually easing. No, I just have to. They are gradually easing that issue. We have a good captain who needs all the support, who needs all the encouragement. You know, so he has played his own part. He has played his dues for the Ghanaian national team. So it's a good thing that he has a good collection of players who look up to him. You know, so let's just hope and pray that bearing injuries, he will be able to lead the team well and give us a good outing at the World Cup.
But 1 minute, age is no longer on his side. Do you think he still have something to offer the Black Stars?
Yeah, he's still banging the goals in his club, so I believe that with his experience.
That is Qatar.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is he's active. He's playing, and you're like somebody that you just you are not into any physical activity. I mean, this is somebody that's been playing, you know. So he's not a small fry. He's a very experienced player. So you want such a player around you, especially when you have young upcoming players. They really want somebody who they look up to. You know, it's not as if he's playing under the shadows of his father. He has paid his dues. That's one thing his father never had, the opportunity of playing at the World Cup. I mean, he has it. I mean, so for me, Ayu is somebody that they should look up to, and I pray and I hope that he's able to lead this team beyond what they did at the 2010 World Cup. Okay,
let's quickly give you the other fixtures of international friendlies that will be involving African teams before we go. We have Morocco. They'll be taking on Chile. Morocco is another World Cup bad country. Mali versus Zambia, Algeria versus Guinea, Guys, Nigeria will be playing Guinea before they face the Super Eagles of Nigeria next week. Of course, Brazil, Ghana, we've talked about it. We've done the preview on the show. Then we have Niger Republic versus Egypt. We have Cameroon versus Uzbekistan. We have Ethiopia versus Sudan. Tanzania will be facing Uganda. Then we have Mali and Zambia. South Africa versus Sierra Leone. Ivory Coast and Togo. Then we have Bolivia versus Senegal. So, James, thank you for coming through on the show today.
Always a pleasure, Femi.
So we apologize. Unfortunately, we couldn't reconnect with Kayode again. But trust me, next show, that is after the international friendly between Brazil and Ghana. Of course, we'll be here to do the review of that game. It's going to be very interesting. So we get our fingers crossed. And I know all our fans, of course, you'll be looking forward to that game. But before then, let us know what you feel the score line will be in the comment section. Let us know what you think the scoreline will be. But for me, trust me, I have a lot of confidence in this the Black Star team, particularly with the new guys. They've come together to strengthen the team. And Ghana the Black Stars, they have a very good coach in Otto. We've seen that. And so I trust them to do the business against Brazil. Even if they wouldn't win, of course, they will give you a very, very good account of themselves. And that is the most important thing ahead of the World Cup. Until we come your way again, I remain Oluwafemi Ashalu. Remember, let's keep the ball rolling. That notification bell, click it so that you can get the video as soon as it drops. Thank you for all your comments, all your support around the world. We appreciate them so much. They mean so much to us. Until next time, bye for now.